We are in Altınımel National Park. Today, together with their foreign colleagues, Kazakh zoologists are launching a very interesting project. The task is to catch several snow leopards and fit them with remote sensing collars. What I really like about working in Kazakhstan is that during our work, a lot of attention is paid not only to the research, but likewise the PR component. That is, promoting our efforts and disseminating knowledge. Indeed, it is one of the key things. Nature conservation should by no means be something that a few dozen enthusiasts are concerned about. They already know everything. They don't need to convince each other of something. It is the millions of other people. Exactly. I must say this is vital for the mere survival of humankind. And this principal issue has been gaining momentum recently. It might even exceed the importance of economic development. Zoologists Alexei Grachov and Saltares Apabayev are longtime friends. As they say, they've trotted the entire Kazakhstan and have gone on hundreds of expeditions to the most remote corners of our country together. In addition to snow leopards, 3 wolves and several foxes have passed here, a stone marten as well. Saltares is an experienced photographer and winner of various wildlife photography contests. Sergei and Maxim Bespalov devoted their lives to studying snow leopards. For months, they work in the mountains and can tell a lot about snow leopards. In the world, there aren't many people who were lucky to take good snow leopard shots. Sergei and Maxim have caught snow leopards on camera multiple times. In the past, scientists could only get bits and pieces of information about the mighty ibis by tracking its tracks. No doubt, snow leopards are much better climbers than humans and are able to walk much longer distances. Even well-trained specialists with extensive sports experience and climbing gear will not cover a complete one-day snow leopard hike. That's why for a long time the ibis has remained one of the most mysterious and underexplored animals. Everything has changed with the advent of new technologies. Previously, they've used radio VHF telemetry, and now that we have GPS sensors at our disposal, we can study all their movements, social interactions, and relations between individuals in detail. Snow leopard is one of our main research objects. We have studied snow leopards practically all over the place, from Russia to Tajikistan, and have gained expertise on catching and tagging these gorgeous cats. The scientist's task is not only to study the biology of rare cats, but also to promote their survival as a species. At one of the conferences, Andrei Poyarkov has stated his intention to focus on environmental education. He considers that it is a researcher's duty not only to accumulate knowledge, but also to apply it for promoting the ideas of wildlife conservation. We started satellite tagging snow leopards in 2010 in Russia. We caught the first one in 2011 in the Sayano-Shushinsky Biosphere Reserve. We have also done a lot of snow leopard tagging across Mongolia. Our team are quite experienced in catching other big cats as well as ungulates. The group makes itself comfortable on the shore of the Kapchagai Reservoir. Right on the checkpoint porch, another representative of the glorious feline family is greeting us. Despite its small size, it has a harsh nature, quite Nordic. If such a tiny one can be so aggressive, then what to expect of a large cat? Oddly enough, in Kazakhstan over the past 100 years, not a single snow leopard attack on humans was registered. Satellite tagging is one of the most powerful methods for investigating rare animal populations. You can get unique information about the way they use their space, about their habitats and interactions, about preferred biotopes, and not just biotopes, but about microstations. Basically enough for an extremely detailed analysis. In addition to Kazakhstan, the ibis lives in 11 more countries. Our colleague scientists have already conducted their research in many of them, and now the time has come for Kazakhstani specialists to join the international efforts on studying this rare cat. Modern zoological research is impossible without international collaboration. Firstly, publications are useless if scientists from other countries don't read them. Thus, any scientific work brought to the final consumer, so to say, meaning our fellow researchers around the world, is of value. Close international cooperation is key for that. Seizing this opportunity, we would like to thank the Kazakhstani team of snow leopard researchers for the invitation and the possibility to share experiences. Scientists want to catch a snow leopard and install a color transmitter on it. Satellite tagging of snow leopards is only the first step. The most important thing is that by tagging them, we get a lot of new research material. We can assess the scale and profile of individual animal hunting plots, for instance, because we easily get these data from satellites. The mission is heading towards the mountains, specifically the southwestern spurs of the Jatisu Alatau, the Sholak, Matai, Degeres, and Altinemel mountains. Between the northern Tian Shan and the southwestern spurs of the Jatisu Alatau, there stretches the Ile Valley. In 1969, they blocked the Ile River with a dam forming the Kapshagai Reservoir. Nearly 2,000 square kilometers of flatland went underwater. In 1982, they transformed the Kapshagai hunting farm into the Kapshagai Hunting Reserve. This form of especially protected areas is quite rare now, but back in those days, they were quite widespread and successful. In fact, in the former USSR, the Kapshagai Hunting Reserve had the largest population of hoofed animals. In 1982, they brought 23 Turkmen kulans from the Basa Kelmes to the Kapshagai Reserve. Today, there are about 4,000 of them here. Based on the reserve's territory, such a high number of animals exceeds the optimum. Thus, they are resettling kulans in other places of their former habitat. Whereas goited gazelles and kulans usually live in foothill plains, Tekem mountain goats rule high up in the mountains. They constitute the prey population of snow leopards. And wolves are food competitors of snow leopards, although they can't move so dexterously over rocks. In 1996, they've established the Altinemel National Park on the premises of the Kapshagai Hunting Reserve. The proximity to the international airport, automobile and railway transport hubs makes the park one of the most popular destinations among the guests of Kazakhstan's southern capital. The Singing Dune, the Bes-Shatir Valley of Barrows, the polychromic Aktau Mountains and the Tamgalitas Petroglyph Gallery have turned into recognizable tourist brands long ago. Strict rules apply though. Be it on foot or using any type of vehicle, one can travel only along the approved roads. The fans of driving over virgin soil on their SUVs and disturbing the natural land cover will pay a huge fine. It is allowed to put up tents only in specially designated locations. At the park's environmental education unit, you can get a guide who will acquaint tourists with its flora and fauna. Each year, the park staff conduct wildlife counting missions to collect the data of interest not only to researchers, but also as an indicator of the park's successful conservation efforts. Today, the number of goited gazelles in the park exceeds 5,000, which is too many for the park's area, especially in the face of deteriorating pastures associated with the global climate change. This year, the US and several other countries have proposed to declare the highest-level climate emergency. Whereas in coastal zones, people suffer from floods and hurricanes, water shortage is the main issue for these living in arid zones. There are no glaciers in the Shalak, Matai, Degres and Altinamel mountains, and thus the local animal and plant worlds depend entirely on springs, the number of which has been declining in recent years. These mountains were never considered as the key habitat of snow leopards, yet the number of ibexes, the main prey of snow leopard, has been always high here. We conducted a research here, and the first photo traps that we have installed a year and a half ago have caught a snow leopard on camera. Later on, we have increased the number of photo traps and saw that a fairly stable snow leopard population lives here. We estimated to include approximately 10-13 animals. The road is going up into the mountains for about 5 kilometers and then disappears. Tracking is our only option. At the first stage, you need to survey as much territory as possible, find trails with snow leopard tracks, and install photo traps on them. This is a watering site. Do you see the water flowing down the rock, forming the puddle? I guess due to climate change, the number of such watering sites has been diminishing recently, and quickly. That's a big issue. Snow leopards can walk a trail once every 10 days or even less often. Or it can be every day. It is important to detect the algorithm of their movements. The earbears are territorial animals. The area of the hunting plot belonging to one animal depends on its sex, age, social status, and abundance of prey. A male plot can overlap with a plot of one or several females. The trap's mechanism includes a weakened spring and a plastic-covered loop to prevent hurting or wounding the animal. It is also vital to camouflage the trap carefully. The rope is connected to a heavy stone. To do everything right, we have to bring a lot of gear high up into the mountains, including a power generator to drill the hole in the stone, which will prevent the animal from running away. It has to be neither too heavy nor too light, so that the animal is capable of moving but not escaping too far. It got cold. The temperature has dropped so sharply. We are freezing, but we are continuing to work. In the dry mountains of Altinamel, precipitation is rare. The fallen snow usually melts the next day. If the trap gets covered with a thick layer of wet snow, it will freeze and will not work. There will be snow. A lot. Yeah, it went straight over the trap. Can you imagine? The snow leopard has stepped right over the trap. Either way, it's not working. I guess to succeed, we need to sacrifice a black sheep. Yet, if you do everything properly, sooner or later you will get lucky. After 2 weeks of hard work, we caught the first snow leopard. Not to scare the animal even more, the group is waiting at a distance while Jose sneaks up and immobilizes the beast with a sedative dart. We wait for 10 minutes until the animal falls asleep. Now we can approach and film it. It is necessary to do an express check of the animal's physical condition, take blood samples, and install the collar. The animal's weight is 46 kilograms, 900 grams. It's a large male. 09464. We only have 30 minutes to finish. It's time to inject the antidote. If 1 hour passes, we cannot administer the antidote as it can threaten the animal. As we speak, the effect of the neuromuscular blocking agent is getting weaker. Its muscles are getting back in tone. The soporific agent Zolotil is still working, and it will take quite some time for the animal to wake up completely. It's done. The only thing left now is wait for the beast to recover and run away. It is still feeling weak and cannot command its body properly, apparently not understanding what has happened. It's better to go a little bit further away, just in case. In the evening, at the checkpoint, the zoologists track their new mentee on the computer.
У этих ошейников, поскольку мы берем локации всего лишь каждые 2 часа.
The collar transmits data via satellite every 2 hours. This way, the collar battery will operate longer.
Если в конкретном ситуации.
The VHF transmitter allows us knowing the animal's position at a given moment in time.
Приемник сигнала УКВ.
The historical migration route of snow leopards goes right through these mountains. We have collected several blood samples from our snow leopard to do different tests. The DNA tests, for example. Centrifuging allows separating blood elements from serum. Serum will be used for hormone testing. We will also check it for various diseases by ELISA testing. We can also do PCR testing, like they do to test for COVID. Reading an animal's genome, we can identify practically all the genes and genetic features. Genetic science has been developing quite rapidly recently. We could learn its overall cortisone level, which is the stress hormone. Yet this time, since the animal was just caught and the cortisone gets into blood very quickly, it makes no sense to measure it, as it will be the result of stress from being caught. This work wouldn't be possible without the support of the UNDP. They provided us with these satellite collars, which are quite expensive. Moreover, quite an essential part of using these collars is data communication, which is done via the Iridium remote sensing system. Zoologists have a lot to talk about this evening, some of which is too difficult for non-scientists. Therefore, we decided not to interfere. It's time for the crew to rest as we are leaving the national park early in the morning. We cannot wait to go to other no less fascinating corners of Central Asia, where the same passionate people are working to preserve our nature.